describing what I mean by the action figure. It's a statement I use a lot. And then the relationship between the action figure and the absolute. All right, well, the relationship between the action figure and the absolute is the action figure is an appearance, and the absolute is the context, yeah? So there is no real relationship. There's only absolute, but the absolute expresses here through the action figure. Yeah. In other words, the action figure is an interface for no-thingness to express into somethingness here. Yeah. So the idea of the action figure is rooted in the sense of being a long-lasting, independent, separate entity. Now that sense is sort of true. This body is a long-lasting, independent, separate object. But the sense that I talk about it is when it's freed from the idea of being you. Yeah? And the action figure has its own little destiny here in time. It's got its own geography it's going to cross over. And it has its own needs and wants that it's best to get met. Yes? And it has its own little things it's going through. So some people have diseases, some are mental, some are physical. And they are expressing through and as the body. And that's how they find expression. Those things that you cannot see, their effects are seen through the body. So let's say alcoholism. Alcoholism you can't take an x-ray of, but if you x-ray the body, you could see its effects on certain organs, yes? And it'll produce tons of effects through the behavior of that action figure. So that's what's happening here. In a sense, mind is attempting to express. And mind has many impressions, and those impressions are attempting to express. Some of them express through the body, some are expressed as the body, yes? Some of them express through the behavior that comes through the body. Some of them they express through the DNA of the body, how long this body's going to live and not, all like that. And but the idea of you being the body is the product of selfing, yes? And to me, I believe that's a big leap. I would say you are not of the body. You may be in a body, seemingly, like Jesus says, you're in this world, but you're not of the world. So you may be in this body in a sense, moving. The movement seems to be there's an in and something in the body, but you're not of that body. And the whole point in identification as self, even if you believe you're not the body, you are of that body. Yeah? The whole premise and the whole story that's being narrated in your head is you as a body. Yeah? Now you may want to call yourself a soul, but what's going to be framing that feeling of being a soul is you as a body. That becomes the context of life, you as a body. We're saying that's content of life. You as a body, yeah? And in that content, things that can't be seen are expressing through that thing that is seen to find expression here. So they can't take form, but they have an effect through form. And that they're moving through this interface or this possibility of expression. But to claim them to be yours, yeah, is the arrogance of self-centeredness, yeah? To claim them to be yours is the root product of selfing. To be the claimer of everything that moves through this as being mine is insanity, really. Yeah? Let's say if anger moves through, and then anger moves through, it could happen once or 20 times, but there's a point where that anger will be so your anger that you'll be an angry person, in a way, yeah? You'll be identified with that movement that's moving through, and you'll be cast as the one that's doing it. You will be the cause of what is moving through when you're not the cause of what's moving through. You're an effect of what's moving through in a sense, yeah? But that sense of being the doer and the haver and the cause and the alpha and omega is the root of selfing. And for me, I believe that's what's producing a lot of mental ailments and emotional ailments and physical ailments, yeah, here. So, did that answer well enough? Yes? I don't know. Why don't you go, man? I don't know. Spit it up in the mic.
top, spit it up, spit it up. Know it. So what do you want? Explain. Yeah. I'ma do it from the top, from the bottom on top. How can I say it, bro? 'Cause of the style.